in this webisode. Wow, after 9 days, Bitcoin finally seems to be breaking this 7-year structural line. What does this mean for Bitcoin's price over the short term? Will we be hitting our targets to the downside of this triangle? And additionally, will we be hitting that downside of this descending wedge here? With this pattern still in play, we'll look at specific pullback areas, and as well, we're only days away now from another weekly candle close. A lot is in store. But as well, we will be covering 6 altcoins in this video. Many of them I think are actually prime for an explosion over the next 2 months. Some of these altcoins that we're going to be covering have been condensed so much. Most of these are actually still down over 95% of their all-time highs. We are not going to be covering some of my favorite altcoins such as like Tezos or Chainlink in this video because they are not very far down. We're going to be specifically looking at coins with some massive explosion potential over the next few months. And as well, the outflow of Bitcoin miners at lows that we haven't seen in the last 10 years. The last time we saw this much outflow of Bitcoin miners was back in 2010. We'll talk about what that means for the price and what that could mean over the short term. And additionally, Plan B, the creator of the stock to flow model, actually says here that Bitcoin should be around 18,000 US dollars now because of the correlation between the stock market or the S&P 500 specifically. So we'll get into that in this webisode as well. Milky, let's do this. Wow, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to this extremely webisode of Bitcoin. We have a lot to delve into. Specifically, Bitcoin price charts will not be the main focus of this video. As guys, you may or may not notice, but Bitcoin's price is not doing a lot. So I thought as well, one thing we could do is go over 6 altcoins that I'm very much eyeing up. One of them actually looks like it's on the verge of an absolute explosion. We'll be taking a look at that, and I'll love to read your comments below about these altcoins if you agree or disagree. And I specifically chose to look at some of these coins that I've seen pop up in the comments over and over and over again. Okay, huge. And as well, you guys, yesterday my video never rendered. It was stuck in 360p quality, and it still is. I reached out to YouTube. It says it'll take 48 hours for them to fix it. Wow, I'm starting to leak a little bit just thinking about it. Huge, guys. Without any further ado, we are going to be giving away one of these bad boys in this webisode. And as well, guys, we give these away fairly often, so make sure to leave your like, subscribe, turn on the dings, and we can get into some of this data. Huge. So guys, we are going to be taking a look at some altcoins. This is one of the charts we have pulled up here, but let's start off with Bitcoin. So clearly still we are in this consolidation pattern. I think there is some more downside specifically to that $8,900 USD level. Currently, we see some signs on the daily chart. For one, we've now actually got a daily close again on this 50-day moving average. However, you guys, it looks as though the momentum is swinging to the downside. It looks as though the momentum really does want to push this down. And if we get this daily close in just a few hours below this 50-day moving average, I think that'll be a good indication that we could see some more downside. However, the one thing I do want to note is we've gotten 6 consecutive strong bounces, 5 of them being exactly at this $9,200 level, one of them dipping down to that $8,860 level, which we really like there. So specifically, this level has been playing massive support. You can see on these daily candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days we're holding above this. But you can see over the last 4 specifically, we touched and bounced right on 92. And the one right prior to those 4 candles was this 5th one 5 days ago that went all the way down to 88.60. So again, a lot of mixed bag, but one thing you guys do notice is here, you can see here, this volume is still descending. We haven't actually gotten a breakout yet, and I think we're going to be seeing one. Okay, so another thing, this is more important. We're actually breaking this 7-year structural line now. We're currently below it. We'll see how it closes, but so far we have 2 daily candles cemented. Red candles, and it'll be interesting to see how this one closes in just a few hours. We are going to be getting this close here, guys, and overall, in the overall momentum of this, it looks as though Bitcoin really does maybe want to actually at least come down to this 50-week moving average, which is right around 86 or 8,700 US dollars. And as well, we have the stronger 21-day moving average right here. That's currently around 83. So between the $82 and $8,300 level there. And guys, we're still anticipating this pullback. This is what I would love to see here. Again, we still potentially have some sort of, again, I said I had some problems with this, but I think it's very important to at least draw and put on here. But it would be something like maybe like a inverse head and shoulder like this. I think there are some problems with it currently, and specifically on some of these more macro patterns, I'm not sure if it makes sense. Again, though, with this descending falling wedge, actually we usually would get a breakout around this percentage through the falling wedge, and usually they tend to break up more than they do break down. However, I'm still eyeing up the possibility that we come down and retest here, which again, guys, puts us right around that to $8,900 pullback area. Okay, absolutely massive, massively huge. Now let's actually cover a few altcoins. We have 6 to cover, so let's cover these 2 that I really want to point to your attention. One of them in this chart we've covered a lot lately. However, the other 5 we haven't talked about on this channel in a very long time. So we have Nano right here. So one of the things I really like about Nano is that for the past 2 years, going all the way back to May of 2018, we've had this level of resistance, okay? First time we came up and found this was back in August of 2018. We came back and found support again, resistance again back in May of 2019, another rejection. Same thing, another rejection here back in February of 2020. Now we came up at the very end of May, just a few weeks ago, and we actually broke through this. Now you see we're facing some resistance right around here. We have these horizontal levels of resistance here. But if we do end up breaking out of this area right here, I think it could very easily push Nano actually back into that $2 range. Currently it's around $1.22. Okay, so a nice, very nice doubling of Nano's price if we break out of this very strong consolidation pattern. Now this consolidation's been 2 years, so keep that in mind. I think that's a very strong resistance, which is why, you know, we're slightly above it now. However, we're coming into some horizontal resistance now. The rest you can see here, and I actually think if we end up breaking that $3 or roughly $3.60 mark, I think we're very likely going to head up to, you know, break way over $10, which is huge. Okay, Nano's all-time high was, I believe it was around like 27, or I think it was over 30 US dollars. This chart doesn't go back long enough. Okay, so very interesting. But again, this long-term trend has been broken. Now, if we show you this, Quantum has a very similar setup where we had that resistance all the way back to April of 2018, and then we had another touch back in July of 2019, another rejection here back in February and March of 2020, and currently we're right there again. So unlike Nano, where this happened back in, you know, just about a month or 2 ago, and we got a break above this, unlike Nano, Quantum has not been able to have that break yet, which is why I'm eyeing this out for potential an explosive move soon. And again, we've been basically testing the bottom of this for a very long time in this bottom range, and we're still basically there. So based on that, we don't have a lot of downside because we're already so pushed down. We've already Quantum's been doing really bad in terms of price action lately. So again, that's why I look at these type of coins, because when you start looking at coins like VeChain, Chainlink, Tezos that have been doing, you know, exceptionally well over the past few months, those are coins that have already broken out. Now, I definitely think they all have a lot of upside potential in this bull run, but specifically, if you're looking for stuff maybe over the next month or 2 to get explosive, I don't think it's incredibly smart to already look at coins that have already pumped 20, 30, 40%. I definitely think maybe longer term plays, they are smart, but for right now, what I'm trying to point out to you is just coins I think within the next month could have some nice upside potential. Now, we have 4 more coins to get into, and as well 2 very interesting articles about mining and then Bitcoin's true price. Huge, guys. So let's paste in here and get the comments. And while that loads, guys, make sure to sign up to crypto.com. Absolutely huge. I've been loving it. I've been trading coins in and out of that exchange effortlessly, okay? I have not had any problems. I actually contacted customer support a few days ago, and I had an answer within minutes. So I don't know, maybe it's for people in different countries. It's better. I'm not sure, but I've heard people have complaints with it, and mine was really good. So guys, if you use the link in the description, you and I both get $50 free of MCO, and you can change that into any cryptocurrency you want, or you can change it into USD. You can do whatever you want with it immediately. Very cool stuff. So let's hit the start. We had 409 comments here. Let's see who the winner is. Mass adoption 2020. Wow, not yo keys, not yo crypto. Excellent news, guys. Excellent comment as well, guys. That perfectly goes hand in hand with what I was just saying. If you have your crypto in something like Coinbase or Crypto.com, technically they're not your keys. Even though Crypto.com now does have a private wallet you can use, I personally use these ledgers, okay? So if you keep your crypto in these ledgers, then they are your keys, and they should be pretty darn safe. Huge, so make sure to contact me, shoot me an email. Link is in the description there as well. And as well, let's get into these other cryptocurrencies, these altcoins here. So I wanted to cover this one because you guys definitely have been talking about this for a while. Cardano, another one of those coins that is down just massively. Let's see here. Roughly, I mean, still after this nice pump, still down like over 94%. It was down like 98% just 3 months ago. So currently there's a nice little rally going on with Cardano, but what it's coming up to is a very big level of resistance, which you can see it bounced right off of the bottom of that resistance, right around here, right around like the 8-cent mark, okay? So it ran into a lot of resistance back when Bitcoin was touching on 14K back in the summer of last year. Cardano reached its resistance right about here. So Cardano is currently reaching its Bitcoin resistance equivalent of about 14K. So it'll be interesting to see. Again, these are one of those plays that's already had one of these explosions over the last few months. However, longer term, I think could be a really good play. As well, Icahn. A lot of you guys have been asking me to look at Icahn as well. Currently, Icahn is very much down as well, guys. That's a theme we have in these videos, about 97, 98% down from all-time highs. But something really interesting about Icahn is it had a massive rally just in January into February, going all the way up to about 60 cents from about 10, 12, 13 cents, okay? So a pretty massive rally. Big rejection where it found support during the cataclysm of the entire world back on March 12th. And it's been on a steady uptrend ever since. You can see this is the uptrend it seems to be forming, kind of inching up back up to this area here. So it'll be interesting to see that. Overall, I'm definitely willing to scoop up a lot more if we would ever come back to these levels. But so far, Icahn's actually showing some pretty good resilience on these charts. And as well, guys, ARK. This is something that I've actually gotten some comments about, but this is a lesser known crypto. So basically the entire year of 2018, it was in a massive downtrend, and it had a little breakout after, touching on this resistance for a very long time. But for the most part, it was a very bad breakout. It really did not have much legs at all. Let's see here. It goes from 40 cents to about 87 cents. And then it entered another downtrend back in the summer of 2019. So this actually broke out way earlier than a lot of the coins broke out back in April and May of 2019. This broke out way prior, and this actually entered its downtrend as a lot of the other coins were entering an uptrend. Okay, same thing. We've had multiple touches on this other downtrend here, and then another very weak uptrend. However, this time what I find interesting is that we're back here trying to test these highs of the last few months. February up to about 40 cents. Currently, it's about 30 cents, but it did go up to 40 cents just days ago. Overall, lowest target I could see this is maybe back to like the 14, 15 cent range, but overall, this is still very much destroyed from its all-time highs. All-time highs being in the double digits, over $12, $13, $14 here. On this exchange, roughly peaking around $12. There was some scam wicks you could see here, whatever that kind of wick is, but overall, yeah, right around $12 to $13 was all-time high, and currently it's sitting around 30 cents. So very much getting destroyed right now. Maybe a good long-term play. And as well, guys, OXT, this is a coin I've been covering a little bit. It's a coin I've become interested in fairly recently. And I do think there is some massive upside to this coin. One thing I want to point out, guys, this market cap is only around, $13 million in the entire market cap. We have multiple coins that are in the $1 billion market cap range. So let's say that this coin would even ever become half of $1 billion just in the next bull run, guys. There is immense upside potential in this. I personally like the privacy features of this coin, and we've kind of been fluctuating in this very odd range. I don't actually have a box drawn in here because we have this low here of around the 14 cent range, 12 to 14 cent. But yeah, we've been stuck in this area, and I'm curious to know what you guys think about Orchid. Very cool stuff, OXT. Now here, guys, I just wanted to cover this briefly. Omkar Agadbole of CoinDesk. The outflow of Bitcoin from miners at lows not seen since 2010. So I just have a few highlighted points here. What does this mean? The 7-day average of the total amount of Bitcoin transferred out of miners' addresses declined to only 987 on Thursday, hitting the lowest level since February of 2010. The previous decade low of 988 was registered on May 23rd. So the number of coins being sent by miners to exchanges is at its lowest point in over a year. It is a sign of efficient miners continuing to hoard and only selling a small portion of their Bitcoin. As such, miners hoarding could be termed as a temporary deferral of Bitcoin sales, possibly due to fears that the market lacks the strength to absorb the regular amount of supply. Essentially, they may be waiting for the market to show strength and prices to rise before taking profit. Forced out miners, however, may return to Bitcoin's blockchain if price rises sharply, making older hardware profitable yet again. So again, just another on-chain analytic I think is important to take note of. And here, published by William Suberg on Cointelegraph, basically my point I want to highlight here is that Bitcoin should cost around $18,000 right now, or the S&P 500 must crash, says Plan B, the analyst behind the stock to flow, who is predicting at least about a $300,000 Bitcoin over the next few years. The 288,000 Bitcoin also implies a 4,300 S&P. Okay, so he's just basically using all this information to cover this here. I'm not going to read through this entire article, but overall it really ties into the idea of how tied together is Bitcoin to traditional stocks and finance. And as well, are you a believer in the stock to flow? I know there's some people coming out lately and saying, and it's getting some hate, but I mean, that's with everything. There will be people that oppose and people that are fans of every single thing out there. So guys, huge, make sure to leave your comment for this ledger below. Check out T4, we're still doing our final sale this week for version 3, okay? All you have to do is enter the code JUNE at checkout. And as well, guys, if you're looking for a new place to buy crypto, I highly recommend crypto.com. I personally have been having an amazing experience with it over the last few weeks. And if you sign up using the link below and enter that code, you and I both receive an extra $50 worth of crypto when you stake that MCO. Huge, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.